To follow God, it's 400 million for 400 million. 2-in-1 with 2-in-1 military. For 10 sets of 10 families. And then 2-in-1 for 2-in-1 military. Christian, good looking, never contracted an STD. Can say a testimony about how they were a Christian for 21 years. But they could be 21 years old. Waiting for their soulmate at the right time, willing to not go to bars or go to festivals until they have their VIP PR with their separate restaurants, supporting all international business with the same recipes, organic. So it's one here and one in Colorado. And then it's 100 million for 10 and 10 for all my mom's family and dad's family. And then extended for half. And then it's $1 billion for me for $1 billion. And then it's another $1 billion for 10, 5, and 2. For 20, 10, and 5. Supermodels, talent, and producers who are full-time anti-slave trade. Out of LA and New York. And the best ones were Bicoastal International, who never slept with a club owner or client or party promoted or prostituted. And that's how they get the 10 and the 10, with one in Colorado, next to Hot Springs. And then they have the 500 million for 3 movies. The Martyr movie, about how it causes a martyr either way, when they're the true anti-slave trade supermodels, talent, and producers, as the referral for half out of other main states and countries. Texas, San Francisco, Chicago, Miami, Vegas, Tennessee. And then other countries who worked with Ford and all agencies I've been signed with. 10, 5, and 2. And the only way they get the 10 and the 5 is if they didn't sleep with a club owner or a client. It's half for a party promoter or a prostitute. So they get that 10, 5, and 2. Or half for a party promoter or a prostitute. 20 years, 10 and 5 out of LA and New York. And then it's the low rent. 2 billion for 4 billion. 2 billion for 10 billion. So then it's 4 billion for 10,000 people out of America, LA and New York as a referral for low rent everywhere, and Pharaoh's Lair for 2 billion. The ones who booked me, and the ones who booked through those agencies for the most successful ones, who never did anything else. As a referral for half for full-time artist teams. If you're Roman Catholic, you don't believe that the top percentage millennials earned it. But they did, and they're not compared to anyone else. Because they're not a playmate for a brand since the year 2000. And they're the only real ones, and it's the most out of LA and New York, but even more if they're Bicoastal International from 2000 to 2007. They have the most amount of a business network, and they earn the most amount of A-list business as the model talent. The hot girl, hot guy role, with a direct booking from a campaign to a commercial to a theatrical job as the speaking line to a celebrity with A-list film distribution. And they would have their own sustainable brand with a design team. No one else has that education. They don't have a top percentage business education. And they don't have the on-camera talent every day, and the people skills, and the ability to listen, to be humble, taking the posture of someone who's a servant, as a model, talent, and then producer, co-producing with the best in the world, who earned the most as campaign, commercial, theatrical, supermodels, talent, and producers, 2000 till now. They were meant to be exploited and shoot in plies by the Vogue photographers and the campaign photographers who shot the slave trade pornography. Instead of being a human sacrifice in their own body, who would never need a surgery, but who would have to stop sitting or standing or using their hands because it cuts off their oxygen supply. And that's 5 years, 10 years into working, and they're bedridden. And they have to be paid for life. And they would have been paid to just do an hour-long production with their own production company co-producing with their own age group and category, who are more successful, who booked campaigns without shooting nudes. But they shot implied since 2007, and it's 90% of them, and it's international. And they're never compared to a downgrade or anything else, paid off by a bribe with their money. Where all jobs were paid with their retail money when they shot for department stores. But they didn't work for the slave-to-brand employees in the store and their brands. To party all day and all night with murders. Playboy ambassadors who were waiters and who worked at hotels. And they weren't pimped or killed by their network as the Christian Infinity artists who worked 16 hours a day for 21 years with an agency rate. With the most amount of a celebrity A-list business.